Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. What I'd like to do in this video is just share with you some news stories that have caught my attention over the last few days. The first one is in regards to the new Raspberry Pi, the Raspberry Pi 4. I am a big fan of the Raspberry Pi. I've got the Model 3B, which is the one that most people have probably bought over the last few years. It's a great little device. I was using mine as, well, mainly as a retro gaming device. I was putting like old arcade games on it. You see a lot of people doing that. They use it for arcade systems, for handheld arcade systems, but I've seen a lot of other people as well using it for media centers, for like Kodi. And yeah, if you look online, there's a lot of people using it in very weird and wonderful ways. The benefit of it being that it's really cheap to buy and really cheap to set up. And there's a lot of really cool accessories as well, like different screens and all that. Now, the Raspberry Pi 4 takes it forward, and it's cheap as always. It starts from $35, about £35 in the UK. And you can see here there's a choice of RAM, 1, 2 or 4 gigabytes. And you can see you can see the actual unit here. It's got two USB 3.0 ports now, gigabit Ethernet. It's now powered by USB Type-C instead of micro B. But there's now two HDMI ports and they're micro HDMI ports. So previously, you can see that there, it had a full HDMI port, but now you've got two. Now, this is quite fascinating because now what it means is that you can now use a Raspberry Pi and output to two 4K monitors. And for a $35, £35 computer, that is pretty amazing. Now, I'm not saying that if you pick the 1 gigabyte version that you're going to get fantastic performance, but the fact that, one of these devices can power two 4K monitors, well, to me anyway, I think it's pretty impressive. Right now, I'm not sure how people are going to use these as far as, the upgraded performance. You're going to get faster transfer rates with USB 3. It says here that the fanless energy efficient, the previous version was fanless as well, fast networking. As far as how this is going to be used, I don't know. I just know from a gaming perspective, there was a lot of systems, as far as an emulation point of view, that perhaps didn't do too well on the previous version. Perhaps in this newer version, we will see improved performance. So maybe there will be newer gaming systems that can now be emulated. I remember trying out Nintendo 64 games and they didn't emulate well, but maybe it will be different now. If you look at the specs page, you can see the design again at the top, and you can see what's underneath the hood. Quad-core Cortex A72 64-bit SoC, 1.5 gigahertz, and then it's 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz wireless and Bluetooth 5.0. So you can see there, display port, there's a camera port and all this inside. Micro SD card slot as usual. I think it's quite interesting that you can now power it with USB Type-C. I think that's the right move forward as well. So yeah guys, I've not picked one of these up yet. I might look into getting one just to see what I can do with it. But if you're a fan of the Raspberry Pi, do check it out. They are available for purchase now. And yeah, it looks like a significant improvement, at least for, in the world of microcomputers. It does look like it's a jump in performance. So that, another thing I wanted to talk about here was the Kano PC. Now, this is quite a good link because the previous edition of the Kano PC actually used a Raspberry Pi. The Kano PC, as you can see, is used in education. It's also marketed in kind of third world countries and things like that. But they've now teamed up with Microsoft, and it basically looks like a Microsoft Surface. So you can see they've partnered with Microsoft to deliver a Kano PC. So you can see it there. Looks pretty cool. Now, you might be wondering what the point of this is, but this is, as you can see, designed for education, and I think it's a great thing to give to kids in schools and that, because if you think about it, most kids, when they see a screen, they just push the button or they swipe a tablet. They don't really understand how it all works, and this would be a great way to kind of bridge the gap and maybe teach them about coding, teach them about how computers are made, and just help them in a number of different ways. You can see here that you can look inside the computer, make emojis with binary code, tinker with touch and sound, play with the processor. I'm all for this kind of thing. I grew up with the BBC computers in my school, and we learned Basic and Coma, all these different languages, and it really did help me moving forward. So yeah, I think this is a good move. According to Verge, they've got an article about it here. Let's get a little bit more information here. The touchscreen PC is powered by a 1.4 GHz Intel Atom quad-core processor, 4 GB of RAM, 64 GB of storage, HDMI port, headphone jack, microphone, 2 USB ports, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. But what I wanted to show you here was the price, $300. Now, I suspect this will be mainly focused, mainly kind of rolled out to schools and, other places of education. But I don't know, maybe some other people will pick this up. Maybe some people will tinker with this and just buy it as a portable kind of Surface laptop. But I guess you've got the Surface Go for that, so maybe not. But anyway, I think that's an interesting idea, and I'm all for things like that. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was Google Chrome. Now, this, as you can see in the title here, is about surveillance. The article title, as Google Chrome has become surveillance software, it's time to switch. Now, this article was posted in the Washington Post. Ironically, there's a lot of hypocrisy here, but ironically, because I'm using Tor, it won't let me read this article about spying unless I turn off private browsing and they can see my IP address. So, yeah, it's an article criticizing Google about spying, and yet they won't let me view their article unless they can see my IP address. You can't make this up. But I did find another website here, Slashdot, that's kind of got an excerpt of the article, and it gives you the kind of main information here that I can't show you, because of that. It's ridiculous. Right, so the article started here. Over a week of surfing, I found under the hood of Google Chrome and found it to brought along a few thousand friends. So the guy's talking about the fact that there was 11,189 requests for tracker cookies that Chrome would have ushered right into my computer, but were automatically blocked by Firefox. So he's talking about switching to Firefox and the fact that Google Chrome had like 12,000 different cookies. So if you're logged into the browser, Google might be tapping into your web activity to target ads. Don't recall signing in. I didn't either. Chrome recently started doing that automatically when you use Gmail. So he's talking about when you log into Gmail, it'll log you into other Google services as well. Chrome is even sneakier on your phone. If you use Android, Chrome sends Google your location every time you conduct a search. But if you turn off location sharing, it sends your coordinates out just with less accuracy. So this part here is definitely worrying. Talking about the fact that they're always tracking your location whenever you use Google Chrome, and the fact that on Android, Google is the default search engine means that, well, they're tracking most people, I would say. And the fact that even if you turn off location, they're still trying to get an idea of your location. Now, it is worth noting that, as far as cookies go, most cookies aren't there to be malicious. They're there to actually improve your viewing experience, whether it be saving your password for a website or marking a page as read because you've already went in there. But there are a lot of websites that don't do that. There are a lot of websites that use this kind of tracking software, not just cookies, but tracking your location and tracking other things, and they do it, well, mainly for advertising, but some places will do it for malicious reasons as well. But as far as advertising goes, yes, that's why Google tracks all of this. It's so that if you type in to buy, a new computer, a Raspberry Pi, if you then go to another website, there will be a banner displayed there. And a lot of their tracking is so that their advertisements is more targeted, means that you're more likely to click. But there is a downside to that. It means that if you're searching for something, that's going to be following you about the web. And as I said, there are, kind of malicious things out there as well. I do use Chrome. But this is the kind of thing that does worry me. And I've seen a lot of statements come out from Firefox recently about all this kind of stuff. And I might try and make the switch back to Firefox. I used to use Firefox all the time, but I might try and use it more often. I can't really use Tor browser all the time, just from a practicality point of view, with me working online, it just doesn't make sense. But Firefox does seem to be implementing more security and privacy features, so kudos to them. Okay, so just to kind of round up what this video has been about, the new Raspberry Pi 4 is out. A little bit beefier in the specs department, still the same small size, but you're getting USB 3.0 ports, you're getting 2 micro HDMI ports, USB Type-C charging, and up to 4 gigabytes of RAM. Kano PC might interest those of you who are in education. I just thought it was cool. And it should be no surprise that Google is tracking us. Thanks for watching the video, guys. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you get a comment on any of these topics, any of these news stories, please do leave a comment below. Stay tuned. I will have some other videos later on in the week. Thanks for your continued support. I always feel cheesy when I say that, but thanks for your support, guys, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care.